Okay, Sabrina here from Cakes by Sabrina. This is part 3 of our tutorial on our Spider-Man beanie. And we already finished one ear flap. It had cut off right when we were fastening off, so I already gone ahead and done that. Now we're going to go and move along to the other side where our marker's at. And get our red yarn. We're going to make like a slip knot. And that loop is going to help us add on to here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to count back 6. We're doing the same thing we did on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stick our hook into that area. Put our little loop on our hook. Bring that through. I'm going to take the yarn, not our straggler, but the yarn. Wrap it around and pull through. Now we're going to single crochet all the way across to 13. So counting this one as our first one, we're going to move along to the next. That's 2. And while you're doing this, lay down your straggler right on top. See how I'm crocheting right over it? Four, 5, 6. Take our marker out. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Last one, 13. And yes, I'm using a different hook, but it's the same size. Misplaced the other one. It's somewhere around here, but I couldn't find it. So I'm using this one instead. We are going to skip our first stitch, move along to the next one, and single crochet. Now we're going to single crochet all the way across to 12. Again, this is counting our first one, so this is our second. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and our last one is right here at the very end. If you cannot get it, just go into that bottom here, but I am going to try my best. This side and this side, there it is. But if you can't find it, it's okay to go on the bottom there just to make that 12th one. Now we're going to turn our work around. We're going to skip this first one, move to the second, single crochet. Now we're going to single crochet all the way across to 11, counting this one as our first one. So 1, and the next one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, last one, 11. Turn the work around. Excuse me. I have like a dry throat right now. Okay, we're going to skip our first one, move to the second, single crochet. Now we're going to single crochet all the way across to 10. Counting this one as our first one. So move to the next, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn our work around, and again we're going to be skipping the first, moving to the second, single crochet. Now we're going to single crochet all the way across to 9, counting this one as our first one. So this one will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn our work around, skip the first, move to the second, single crochet. Now you're going to single crochet all the way across to 8, counting this one as our first one. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, 8. Turn our work around, skip the first, move to the second, single crochet. We're going to single crochet all the way across to 7, counting this one as our first one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to skip this first one, move to the second one, single crochet. Now we're going to single crochet all the way across. And that was 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 across. This is our second one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn our work around, skip the first, move to the second, single crochet. Now we're going to single crochet all the way across to 5. 2, because we're counting this one as our first one. 3, 4, 5. Turn our work around. Excuse me for a second. Skip the first, move to the second, single crochet. Now we're going to single crochet all the way across to 4, counting this one as our first one. So this is our second, third, and fourth. Turn the work around, single crochet in the second. This is the first, this is the second. Now we're going to single crochet across to 3, counting this one as our first one, 2, and 3. Turn the work around, Now this is going to be our last one. We're going to skip the first, move to the second, and then we're just going to move to the last one right there, single crochet, and fasten off. Now when fastening off, I just wrap the yarn around my hook, pull it through that loop, and pull the entire rest of the yarn through, and just pull tight. Now we got our ear flaps done. Now we're going to work on the border of our beanie in blue. So grab your blue yarn, which I'm going to be using this thin one because it's what I have in hand. I'm just unraveling it. So here's our blue yarn. I'm going to wrap it around, tuck it under, pull through, bring our hook through, and we're going to take that off the hook now. Now we have our little loop. On the very end between our beanie and our ear flap, you want to attach this. Doesn't matter if you're off or not. Just going to attach this yarn to the beanie in the corner. Now we're going to wrap the yarn around and pull it through. Now we're going to single crochet all the way around. So starting from this side, we're going to go into our next single crochet, single crochet, all the way across till we get to the other side of the ear flap. Make sure you're laying down your straggler too. You might come across some other stragglers from the beanie, which I am right here. Just lay that down, crochet right over it. Now if you're using a 4-ply yarn, you might have a thicker look than I do, and it might look a lot better. I would prefer to use the 4-ply yarn, like wash yarn, than a 2-ply wash yarn. Now we're here at our ear flap, and what we're going to do is go in between each one of these rows. So here we are at this row. You could see this is like where we ended at. Now we're moving along to the side, bringing it in, and as you can see, I just went up a row. There's the rows right here. See the lines? I just went up the row. Now I'm going to go in between this one, and you're just bringing your hook through. It's kind of hard to do it. You're going to have a little battle with your yarn, and you're going to just keep on going in each row all the way up. Now when you're doing this, make sure you're going in between these little holes here too. You see these holes? That is one row, that's the other row. You want to make sure you're going into each row and get the end of this knot You can get the inside of it, but what's going to happen, you're going to have lines coming out from the sides. You want to have it right at the corner. And we're just going all the way up in each row on the very edge. As you can see, I'm even struggling trying to get these in, but it does give it the great look. Now we're at the very top. And move to our next stitch on the very top too. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We have a straggler here laid on the top. Move to the next row, which as you can see I have these loops here, which if you have the same thing you can just go into those loops and crochet right over. And then you just go into this part right here. That way you're going into each stitch. Each row, sorry. We're coming down, doing each row. This side's like a lot easier to crochet than the other side for some reason, which I'm loving. Now we're getting back to our beanie. You want to get the very edge of the ear flap and the beanie. And we're going to do it all the way across our beanie now. To the other side of the ear flap. Okay, we're on the other side of the ear flap. We're going to go right into that corner there. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, going in each row. So just move up the row, single crochet, move up the row, single crochet, try to get the edge, move up the row, single crochet, move up the row, single crochet, move up a row, single crochet. Just keep on moving up one row and just single crochet all the way up. Move up the next row right here, next row, next row, which is the very top. Now we're on the very top here. We're going to move to our next stitch on the very top, single crochet, and we're going to do the same thing going down in each row. So that was the very top of the row. we're going to get right here, and then the next one, and just move down the rows. You're looking for that line, and you're looking for those holes. Those are each row. So now, you did a hole, you're looking for the line. Okay, we're getting back to the end here. We're going to do our last stitch here, and we're going to slip stitch, which I have this loose straggler, which I'm going to cut because most of it's already sewn in. Just cut the last of it off. Now we're going to slip stitch in our first chain one and join this. What I like to do is I like to slip stitch again in this next stitch over and then fasten off. At this point, you might want to go ahead and take your crochet tappers needle and sew in all your ends before we start on the detail of the spider web in the eyes. Oh, you had one to sew in. Yay! So here is our beanie, and I have a mannequin here so I can put it on there. And there it is. Now we're going to work on the spider web and the eyes. So let's do the eyes first and get those out of the way. I had already gone ahead and do one of them. This is the eye right here. And when you slant it, it gives it that perfect shape. And I went around with the black. So what we're going to need here is our white yarn. We're going to make a slip knot, wrapping the yarn around twice over our fingers, pulling it through, bring it over, put our hook through. And we're going to chain up 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to skip our first one, move to our second, single crochet, and we're going to single crochet all the way across. Just like we did the ear flaps, that's pretty much what we're doing. So single crochet all the way to the end of this chain. Last one. Now we're going to turn our work around, do the same thing, skip the first, move to the second, and single crochet. And now we're going to single crochet all the way across again. Turn the work around, skip the first, move to the second, and single crochet. All the way across again. Turn the work around, skip the first, move to the second, single crochet. We're going to single crochet all the way across. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn the work around, skip the first, move to the second, single crochet 1, and then single crochet all the way across to 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, last one, 7. Turn the work around, skip the first, move to the second, that's our first single crochet. Now we're going to single crochet all the way across to 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to fasten off. Bring the yarn through. And there's our eye. Now we're going to get the black yarn. Make another slip knot. And bring the yarn through. And my straggler's a little bit long. I don't want it that long, so I'm going to pull the other side, bring it through. That's perfect. That little loop there that we're going to use, we're going to use it to add on our yarn. I'm working on the very end of our corner here. I'm going to bring this yarn through. Pull snug so it can be nice and tight on there. Bring the yarn through. And now we're going to single crochet all the way across. And laying down our straggler as well. Now we're coming across our corner here. In our corner, we're going to do the same thing we did to our ear flaps, going in each row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. Let's go in each one of those rows. 1, 2, excuse me. 3, 4, last one, 6. Now we're going to work across the rest of the other stitches on the bottom here to single crochet. I got my stragglers in there. Okay, there we go. Again, we have 6 rows, so we're going to go up 6, laying down our straggler as well. Here's our first row. 1, move along to the next. 2, next. 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to join with our first single crochet chain 1, whatever. And I'm going to do it one more time with the slip stitch on the next stitch and then fasten off. Bring the yarn through. Now one of my loose stragglers, it's a little bit too long, so I'm going to cut the rest of it off because the rest of it's already short sewn in there. Take your needle, which I'll put mine aside, but there it is. And let's sew in our ends. Okay, we have our eyes done. You'll do the same thing again with the second one. And once you're done, you should have eyes that look like that. And when we place them on the beanie, they should look like that. So, now stay tuned for part 4. Yes, part 4 on our tutorial. And we are going to do the spider web, which is the hardest part of this whole thing, so get ready for that one. Okay.